to Boy Meets Beauty. I'm Gregory Dillon, and as always, it is fabulous to see you, and thanks for joining me. Of course, thank you all for your comments and your likes and your support. You are fantastic, and I love the fact that we are beauty BFFs now. Anyway, today I'm starting beauty school with you guys, and we are going to talk about Sun Care 101. That's right, I'm going to give you all of the 411 on SPF because everybody has a lot of questions about sun care, and honestly, it's so important because, you know, the sun is the #1 cause of aging, and I know that all of us beauty fans want to keep our skin looking young and healthy and amazing for as long as we can. So it's super duper important to understand how sun care and skin care work. So let's dive in. First things first, SPF, what does it mean? It means sun protection factor. Now, obviously this is available in graduated levels, 8, 15, 30, 45, right? Does it necessarily mean that you get more protection from a 45 than you do from, say, a 15? Well, not necessarily. What that number means is that is how much longer you can stay in the sun without burning versus if you did not have it on. So if I'm wearing SPF 15, I can stay in the sun 15 times longer than I would be able to without that product on. SPF 30 times longer than I would be able to without burning without that product, right? Now, what's the difference in protection? Well, just to give you an idea, an SPF 15 gives you about 93% protection from the sun, and an SPF 30 gives you about 97%. So you can see that that number of percentage of protection isn't a huge difference, but the amount of time you're going to be able to stay out is what really, really makes the difference. Now, what are we trying to protect ourselves from? We're protecting ourselves from the sun's damaging rays, which consist of UVA and UVB. UVA are the ones that age us, UVB are the ones that burn us. Awesome example of this is that person who drives in the car like this, right, for years and has all of that pigmentation and sun damage on the skin, but never really got a burn. That's because those UVB rays, the burning rays, can't penetrate glass, but the UVA rays can. And the bad news, both of them can, about 80% of both of those rays can penetrate through the cloud. So when do you use SPF? When it's daylight. Because it doesn't need to be sunny and bright and clear skied for those sun rays to get through and damage your skin. Now, here's a little bit of SPF math for you. If I have an SPF 20 moisturizer and an SPF 15, say, mineral powder, does that give me SPF 35? Go. Dun, 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 dun. No, it doesn't. You cannot layer your SPFs to achieve a higher SPF. The highest SPF that you will have on is the highest number of the product that you put on. An SPF 30 and an SPF 15 together still only equal a 30. If you wanted to achieve coverage of 45, you need to put on a product that has SPF 45. I know, a little bit confusing, but you get it now, right? Now, let's talk about the two different kinds of protection, sunscreen versus sunblock. A sunscreen is a chemical protection from the skin. Now, these ingredients help to filter and absorb the sun rays, like an avobenzone, versus a sunblock is an ingredient that is actually a physical barrier, and that's going to bounce and reflect the rays of the sun, and that's an ingredient like a titanium dioxide. Which one's better? Which would you use? It totally depends. I've worked with dermatologists who say that they prefer physical. I've worked with ones that say they prefer chemical. And then you've got an expert in a magazine saying this versus this. Here's my best advice to you. When it comes to sun protection, find one that you like. Find one that feels good on the skin, because if you like it and you like the way it feels on the skin, you're actually going to use it. And that's what's most important, because everybody's always really good when they go on vacation. They're all, I'm on the beach now, I'm putting on tons of sun care. Well, yeah, but like, what about every day? You know, when you're walking outside and walking your dog, or you're at lunch with your girlfriends and walking around town shopping. That's when you really need to do that, because you do that a whole lot more than vacation, right? Every day, you know, from your house to the car to work and back, SPF 15 is pretty adequate. But if you're gonna have one of those shopping, lounging around town days with the girls, that's when you need to bump it up a little bit to SPF 30. Now, if you are on vacay, you are going to want to reapply about every 2 hours, especially if you've been sweating. Sun protection is no longer really waterproof. They use the term water resistant, and that means that you can stay, that maintains its SPF after 40 minutes of water exposure. And if you are on the beach, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're using at least a shot glass amount. I don't know what a shot glass looks like. For the exposed areas on your body. You can't just be like, ooh, I'm so protected with just a little bit. Don't be sparse with your sun care. Make sure you're slathering it all over you. So important, right? Now, if you really want to maximize your sun protection, avoid the sun between the hours of 10 and 2 because that's when the sun is strongest. You're also going to want to take defense with your accessories. That's right. Not only do hats and sunglasses look absolutely amazing, but they're going to give you extra protection. The wider the brim of the hat, the more protection that your face has from the sun. And this area is so important to protect because, you know, the eye area is very thin, delicate, fragile skin. Sunglasses really, really help to protect it from the sun rays. And that matters because it's one of the first areas of the face that really, really start to show signs of aging. So we want to make sure we're taking extra special steps to protect that area, right? So if you can get an eye cream with SPF, great. Sunglasses on top, even better. Now, it's never too late to start good sun care habits. The bad news is most of the damage is done between, you know, by the time you're like 12 to 18 years old. But the good news is you can prevent a lot more damage going forward. A lot of you have been asking about lightening any hyperpigmentation or dark spots on the skin, which are exacerbated and or caused by the sun. Now, if you're doing a lightening regimen, let's say with like vitamin C or something more aggressive like hydroquinone, something gentle like licorice root, these are all great products to break up those clusters of darkness. But if you are not using SPF, the second you go outside and that sun is like, bam, those melanocytes are gonna come right back up to the surface. That is that pigment in the skin that's there to protect us. And if you're not protecting it from the sun, you're never gonna get rid of those dark spots. So the two need to go hand in hand for any type of lightening regimen, okay? So let's see if we can get a little quick recap. SPF, sun protection factor. The number of the sun protection factor means the amount of time that we can stay out in the sun without burning. Right? We want to avoid the sun between the hours of 10 and 2 and bump up our accessories to give us added protection. A chemical sunblock is going to filter and absorb as a sunscreen. A physical sunblock is going to act as a sunblock and bounce and reflect those rays off of the skin. UVA is going to age us, UVB is going to burn us. We want to avoid all of them because even on a cloudy day, they're still there. Okay, so that is pretty much 101 sun care. I have a feeling if I gave you all a test right now, you would absolutely ace it. So I hope that tomorrow morning when you wake up and you face your day, you're facing it with the confidence that you know all about sun care and it is no match for your expertise anymore. As always, it is fantastic to see you guys. Love being in touch with all of you, so please keep up the comments, likes, and suggestions. I adore it. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm on Pinterest. Like I said, I've seen some of you there, so follow me there, Gregory Dillon. And of course, do not miss me on Twitter and Instagram at GregorsLA because, wink, wink, I may be announcing a little contest on there coming up. So you definitely don't want to miss that. In the meantime, I will see you soon. And as always, keep it beautiful.